everyone! Welcome back to Fluent English Power, your favorite spot to get real about speaking English with confidence. I'm Luna, and with me is my partner in podcasting, Mason. What's up, Mason?
Hey Luna, glad to be here. And I'm pumped for today's episode because we're talking about something that almost everyone struggles with at some point: how to start conversations in English.
Yeah, and not just for English learners. Even native speakers get nervous or feel awkward starting a conversation. But for English learners, that pressure feels 10 times heavier.
Totally. So today's episode isn't just about language. It's about confidence, human connection, and learning to break the silence without fear.
Exactly. We're going to walk through specific tips, real phrases, examples, and mindset shifts that'll help you go from I don't know what to say to I can talk to anyone. Sound good?
Let's do it. 1. Let go of the fear of looking weird. So let's start with the biggest obstacle: fear. Most people don't avoid conversations because they don't know English. They avoid them because they're afraid of looking silly.
That's real. You worry, what if they don't understand me? What if I see the wrong word? What if I freeze?
But here's the truth. Nobody cares as much as you think they do. People are not sitting around judging your grammar. They're just people like you, probably just as nervous.
And when you show up with a smile and a friendly vibe, people feel that. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. 2. Use situational starters, easy openers. So let's get into the how. One of the best ways to start a conversation is to use your environment. That means look around and say something about what's happening right now.
Exactly. I call these situational starters. They're simple, natural, and don't feel forced.
For example, it's really crowded in here today. Wow, this weather is something else, huh? Is the line always this long?
It's low risk, but it opens the door. You're not jumping in with deep questions. You're just commenting on something you both see.
And people respond because it feels organic. You're not rehearsing, you're just noticing.
3. Use compliments, but keep it real. Another great opener: compliments. They're universal. Everyone loves them as long as they feel real.
Yep. A good compliment is simple and honest. Like, hey, I really like your shoes. Your accent's cool. Where are you from originally? That's a nice jacket. Looks super warm.
You're not trying to impress. You're just noticing something cool and saying it out loud. That's what most conversations are.
Exactly. And a compliment often leads to follow-up talk. They'll say, thanks, and maybe tell you where they got it or why they wore it, and boom, you're in a conversation.
4. Ask simple, open-ended questions. Let's talk about questions. One mistake people make is asking questions that end the conversation.
You mean like, do you like pizza? Or is this your first time here? Where the answer could just be yes or no?
Exactly. Instead, go for open-ended questions. They invite more than a one-word reply. Like, what kind of music do you usually listen to? How do you usually spend your weekends?
Or even something light, like, what's your go-to coffee order? It's small, but it creates space for a real answer.
And remember, the goal isn't to sound smart. It's just to keep the flow going.
5. React, don't perform. This one's important. You don't need to have a perfect plan. Just react to what's being said.
Exactly. Conversations are like ping pong. You don't hold the ball forever. You just keep it moving.
So if someone says, I went to Seattle last weekend, don't freeze. You could say, oh, cool. I've never been. What was it like? Did it rain the whole time?
Your job isn't to deliver a speech. It's just to be curious, be present, and respond like a real human. 6. Use fillers and survival phrases. They help.
Yes, these are your best friends when you're nervous. Things like, let me think. How do I say this? I'm not sure I understand. Can you say that again? These phrases buy you time. They also normalize the struggle because fluent people use them too.
Every time you use a survival phrase instead of going silent, you stay in the conversation. That's a win. 7. Practice in safe zones.
Now, here's the thing. You can't just learn these in your head. You have to practice them out loud.
But you don't need to start with strangers on the street. Find safe zones, friends, language partners, even yourself in the mirror.
Or join a community online. Comment on posts, jump into conversations in a group. Start small, but start often.
Every time you start a conversation, it gets a little less scary. That's how you build your confidence muscle.
Okay, let's be honest. Not every conversation will be smooth. Sometimes people don't respond. Sometimes it just ends.
It happens to everyone, native speakers too. But don't take it personally.
If you start a convo and they don't seem into it, no big deal. Just smile and move on.
And if you feel awkward, you can say something like, "I'm still learning English. Sometimes I get stuck." That honesty is powerful.
Own it. Laugh it off. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be real.
Final thoughts. Part 1 wrap-up.
So let's wrap up part 1. We've talked about overcoming fear, situational openers, compliments and questions, staying relaxed and reactive, and not giving up when things get awkward.
If there's one message we want to leave you with, it's this. You already have enough English to start a conversation. You just need to believe that your voice matters.
That's right. Confidence doesn't come from knowing every word. It comes from trying, even when it's messy.
We've got even more coming in part 2. We'll dig into building longer conversations, reading social cues, and making lasting impressions in English.
So don't miss it. Share this with someone who's learning English, and remember, every conversation you start is one step closer to fluency.
See you in the next one. And until then, speak up, smile often, and don't be afraid to start the talk.